Welcome back to course Database Management System. So in the last video we discussed about the advanced concepts in a database such as data mining and data warehouse, and this is a last video of this particular course. So the last video is data security in the database. So till now we discussed about the database, we learn various concepts related to the database. So in the last video we are going to discuss about the data security. Security of a data which is present in the database. So what do you think that data stored in the database, whether it is being stored or does it require any kind of technique to make the data present in the database secure? Because the data which is stored in the database is not encrypted or decrypted. Maybe you heard about the concept of cryptography. Cryptography is a technique of just encoding your data so that no other user can able to understand what is written in that case. So the data stored in the database that need to be protected from unauthorized access and unwanted updation, insertion and deletion of the data. This is what a very important thing. You want that the data which is stored in your database, that should be accessed by you only, and without your permission nobody can able to access the data, because the most of the time the data is very secret. Privacy has to be maintained for the data, secrecy has to be maintained. So for that purpose data stored in the database need to be secure. Though we are using the various username and password, but still we want to provide more security to database. So that we are going to discuss how to provide a security to data which is stored in the database. So some of the threats that must be addressed in a database security. Very first is loss of availability. Then second one is loss of data integrity, loss of secrecy, loss of privacy, theft and fraud that need to be avoided, and accidental losses that also we need to deal with this kind of challenges. So these are the various threats to database, data stored in the database, and various security schemes can be used to secure your data which is present in your database. So here we are going to discuss about the three scheme. Very first scheme is use of DCL command. Initially when we discuss about the SQL, at that time we have seen the classification of SQL, that SQL is being classified into DDL, DML, DCL and TCL. So at that time I told you that we are going to discuss the DCL and in the data security part. So this is what last video where we are going to discuss about the DCL command. DCL stands for data control language. Okay, so it consists of certain command. Two commands are there. One is a grant and revoke that we are going to discuss over here. So first scheme that we are going to use for security purpose is use of DCL command. Second, use of firewall, and the third one is use of data encryption. Just I talk about the cryptography. So encryption is a part of a cryptography technique. So first of all we discuss about the DCL command, and we'll see how DCL command can be used to secure a data present in the database. So I told you that DCL consists of two commands majorly. One is a grant and second one is a revoke. By using the grant you can grant the particular access on a particular table or particular column, and by using revoke you can just take out that access from the user. So for that, first of all we need to understand how to create a user. Okay, means to that particular user we can allow a particular access. So before that we should know how to create a user. So I just given you the syntax how to create a new user in case of your Oracle. Though we are using live SQL, so in that case it is not being allowed, but still you should know what is the syntax to create a new user. So what syntax you have to use? Create user, username identified by password. So here you need to provide the username. So here I just taken the example, create user ABC identified by XYZ. ABC is a user and its password is XYZ. So now we have just created a user called as a ABC. Now we want to grant a particular privilege to the user. Initially when the new user is created, that user didn't have any privilege to create a table or do anything. We need to assign a particular privilege in order to carry out that task. So what is the syntax that you need to follow while making use of a grant? See, in this case of DCL you have two commands. one is a grant and revoke. By using grant you can assign a privilege, and by using revoke you just take out the privilege. So what syntax you have to use in the grant command: grant privilege name to username. So in this case we have taken the example grant create session to ABC. That means I am allowing ABC user to create a session. Similarly, we need to assign create table privilege to ABC user. Then we also want to allocate or give privilege of materialized view creation to user ABC. And if you want that, you need to, instead of giving all the privileges one by one, suppose you want to give all kinds of privilege to the user, that is also possible with this particular command, grant all privileges to ABC. Means instead of assigning the session, table or materialized view privilege to user individually, you can give all the privilege at the same time by using one command, using this grant all privilege to ABC. So here we have seen how to create a user, and once you create a user you can assign a privilege to user. Now the next thing is that you can control the access for particular operation also. Okay, so that is also possible. So for that we have this syntax grant privilege list on table name to user. That means you can control the particular user from performing any kind of action on particular table. So here we take a simple example: grant select comma insert comma update comma delete on student to ABC. That means student is a table on which I allowed or I have given a privilege to user ABC to perform select, insert, update and delete operation. Means not only you control the privilege for creating table, session, materialized view, but you can also control the access for particular table from performing these many operations such as insert, update and delete, and as well as the select. So this is how you can use grant command to assign a particular privilege to the user. Now exactly opposite to grant command there is a revoke command. So what is the use of revoke command? Revoke command can be used to take out all the privileges from the user. Okay, revoke command is used to take out all the privileges from the user, and its syntax is given as follows: revoke privilege name from the username. So in this case we have taken a simple example: revoke create table from ABC. Initially I have just given a privilege to user ABC for creating a table. Now suppose I want to take out that privilege from the user ABC. So what I need to do? I need to make use of a revoke command: revoke create table from ABC. So after executing this command, ABC user is not able to create a table. Similarly, you can revoke the particular operation on particular table. Previously we have seen that on the student table we have given a privilege to user ABC for insert, update, delete and select. So out of this, suppose I need to take out the insert and delete operation on the table student for user ABC. So I can use this particular syntax: revoke insert comma delete on student from ABC. So it will take out the insert and delete privilege on student table to user ABC. And finally we have just created a new user, and here we are going to discuss one more command to delete the user. So by using this command drop user username, you can delete the user also. So this is how, by using dcl command, you can control the access of a user from accessing a particular table or data present in that particular table. So this is a first scheme which help us to maintain the security of a data present in the table. Now the second scheme we are going to discuss over here, that is the use of firewall. Okay, you can make use of a firewall to secure your data which is present in your database. Okay, so what is a firewall? Firewall is a system that is designed to prevent unauthorized access to or from a private network. Suppose we have a particular industry or institution, so it is considered as a private network, and we want to prevent the unauthorized access, that we don't want any user to access our data from outside the private network. So in that case what we need to do, we need to make use of a firewall. Okay, so firewall allow us to stop or to prevent the unauthorized user from accessing the data. So that firewall techniques used in the data security, and it is implemented in three types, or following ways are there. First one is a packet filter. So it looks at each packet that is entering, we are saying that the data packet, we are talking about the data packet that is entering into your network and going outside the network. So it looks at each packet which is entering or leaving a network. So there you can set a rules. According to that, it will check your data packet which is entering into your private network, or a data packet which is leaving your private network. So for that purpose you can use a packet filter. Then you can make use of application gateway, where a security mechanism is applied to specific applications such as FTP. FTP is a file transfer protocol by using which you can transfer the data from one location to another, or you can make use of telnet server. So for that purpose you can make use of a gateway to control the FTP. And one more thing is available in case of firewall, that is circuit level gateway. So security mechanism can also be applied when the TCP and UDP connection is established, because whenever you are making a request to retrieve data, so at that time protocol is used. TCP is a connection oriented, whereas UDP is a connectionless. So in that case security level gateway comes into existence. So firewall also helps to control the access to data which is present in your system in the private network. So this is the second scheme which allows us, or this is a second way by which you can allow access to data. You can control the access to the data present in the database. And the final scheme for data security is what? Make use of a encryption technique. So actually encryption is a part of a cryptography. Cryptography involves two things. One is encryption and second one is a decryption. So what is encryption? Encryption is the process of just encoding the data so that human is not able to read them. Okay, we are just jumbling the text. Suppose I have written a particular name such as Ram, so that is readable by all, but by using encryption technique I will encode that particular word so that nobody can able to understand that word is a Ram. So that is possible with the help of encryption scheme. So there are a number of encryption algorithms are available, such as a DES algorithm, AES algorithm, RSA algorithm. A number of encryption and decryption algorithm are used to convert your data into such a form which cannot be understood by normal user. Okay, so some of the encryption scheme we are going to discuss over here. So for very simple scheme is there, simple substitution method. So here I will just give a simple example of a simple substitution method. I am not going to talk about the RSA, DES or any other algorithm. So here we just talk about the simple substitution method. So how that simple substitution method will work? So in order to understand this, we have just taken this simple example. Suppose I have written a word well done, and this is being encrypted word XFMAEPOF. Suppose I have written the word like this. Can anybody understand that it is a well done? It is a word well done? No, normally we cannot understand. Why? Because it is being encrypted. And which technique we have used to encrypt that word? Substitution method. So here we should know how substitution method works. So in this method, each letter of plain text, this is called as a plain text and this is called as a ciphertext. Plain text is understandable by user and ciphertext is a jumbled text which is not generally understandable by the user. So in the simple substitution method, each letter of a plain text is shifted to immediate successor. So if you want to decode this particular ciphertext, what you understand, after W there is a X, means in this simple substitution method what is given, every letter in the plain text is shifted to its immediate successor. So after W what is there? X. After E there is a F. After L there is a M. So every letter present in this particular word well done is replaced by next character, that is X, F, M, M, A, E, P, O, F. So this is how substitution method. By using the substitution method, I have just encrypted this word well done, and this is what a ciphertext, and which is not understandable by user. So in order to understand this, you need to make use of a decryption technique. So decryption is exactly opposite to encryption. In case of encryption, what we are doing, we are encoding the text, and in case of decryption, we are just decoding the text which is encoded by using encryption. So for encryption and decryption, a number of techniques are available. Just I told you about this RSA algorithm, DES algorithm, blowfish algorithm, a number of encryption decryption algorithms are there, but here we have taken a simple example of substitution method. So I hope you understand how security can be provided to a data present in the database. So here we discuss there are three ways. First, by making use of DCL, where we discuss about the grant and revoke command, how it helps to give a particular privilege to the user and take out it. Second way is by using a firewall technique, by using which we can control the traffic in the private network. And finally, make use of encryption technique to just convert your data into such a jumbled format ciphertext which is not understandable by user. So this is how we have completed all the topics in the course called as a database management system. Thank you.